My name is Herr Daly, and the topic we are going to discuss today are the verbs haben and sein. Firstly, I want you to write down the word haben in your copybook. Haben is spelled H-A-B-E-N. That means to have. Now, I want you to have a space, and after haben, I want you to write the verb sein. S-E-I-N. Now that means to be. So at one side of your copybook, you should have haben, because we're going to write some sentences underneath haben. And at the other side of your copybook, you should have sein, because we're going to write a couple of things underneath sein. Now, haben and sein are the two most important verbs in German. So please take care and make sure you fully understand these verbs and how to use them before going forward in your lessons. Okay, so let's get going. Firstly, I'm going to give you the list for haben and the list for sein, and then we are going to practice them with examples for you to see how to use them. So let's get going. Put your pen in your hand, and we're going to write a list underneath the verb haben, which is to have. The first one is ich habe. So underneath haben, you write ich habe. Ich is spelled I-C-H, I, habe, H-A-B-E. The next one is du hast. Now du, D-U, is you. And then the second word is hast, H-A-S-T. Underneath that again, you're going to write hat. So he has. Is E-R. And then the next word is hat, H-A-T, like a hat on your head. He is wearing a hat, hat. Now, you also use hat, H-A-T, for she, which is sie. So you'd have hat or sie hat. On the next line, you would have wir haben, we have. Wir, W-I-R, and then followed by haben, H-A-B-E-N. Now the next line, you would have ihr habt, which is ye have, or you have formal. Ihr is I-H-R, and then the next word is H-A-B-T. Now the last one is called sie haben. Two words. The first one sie, Z-I-E, followed by haben, H-A-B-E-N. Okay, so that is the list for haben. Rewind the tape if you've missed any of that to make sure you have it. Now we're going to practice use of haben. I'm going to call out various sentences followed by a pause in the middle of the sentence, and then you're going to tell me whether you use habe, hast, hat, haben, habt, or haben, depending on the ich, du, sie, wir, ihr, or sie form. Now look at your table to help you to fill in this first example. Wir eine neue Wohnung. Okay, now the next one is a question, so the pause will be at the start of the sentence. So I will begin the example now. Du Geschwister. Did you get that? So I'll start the sentence again. The pause will be at the start of the sentence, followed by the rest of the sentence. So let's go. Du Geschwister. Okay, the next example. Ich schon Bärenhunger. Okay, the next example. Die Eltern keine Zeit für das Kind. And the last example. Ich für heute 2 Kinokarten. Rewind the tape and play it again if you didn't get all the answers. Okay, so here are the answers. Wir haben eine neue Wohnung. Hast du Geschwister? Ich habe schon Bärenhunger. Die Eltern haben keine Zeit für das Kind. Ich habe für heute 2 Kinokarten. How did you get on? Okay, let's continue with the Sein. So move to the Sein side of the page, and underneath where you've written Sein, to be, we are going to fill in the list. Ich bin, I am. So ICH for I, and then bin, B-I-N. Like a bin. Ich bin. The next line, you're going to write du bist. You are. Du for you, and then bist. B-I-S-T. In the next line, you will write ist. So is E-R, and then ist is I-S-T. Now, you also use ist for she is. So you will use ist also with she. So sie ist. S-I-E, then I-S-T. The next line ist wir, sind. So wir, W-I-R, followed by sind, S-I-N-D. The next line is ihr seid, I-H-R, followed by S-E-I-D. And then the last line is sie sind, S-I-E, followed by S-I-N-D. As well as having the habe, hast, hat, haben, habt, haben, or the bin, bist, ist, sind, seid, sind, part of the verb, you will notice that for haben and sein, they all have ich, du, sie, wir, ihr, sie. That's because ich is I, du is you, is he, sie is she. That's an S with a small s. Wir is we, ihr is ye or you formal, and sie with a big S is they. So these ich, du, sie, wir, ihr, sie will come before every single German verb that you ever encounter. So let's get practicing with a few sein verbs. Again, like the last time, I will call out the sentence and there will be a gap for you to insert the answer. Peters Vater Ingenoia vom Beruf. What answer did you get? Peters Vater ist Ingenoia vom Beruf. Ich fleißig. Ich lerne gut. Now look at the list if you need to guess. Ich bin fleißig. Ich lerne gut. Wir schon sehr hungrig. Okay, now there's 2 clues here. One, you have the list in front of you so you can look at it, which you should be doing the whole time. You also have wir. So because you have wir, it kind of tells you which one of the sein list you need to use. So wir, bist, you wouldn't use that because they're not on the same line. Wir sind schon sehr hungrig. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work through a couple of more examples, and you need to let me know whether to use the haben list or the sein list. So, was ist richtig? 1. Eva krank. Sie Grippe. So, Eva is sick. She has the flu. What would the answer be? Eva ist krank. Sie hat Grippe. Okay? So, the second example, we're going to follow the same format, and I want you speaking out what you think the answer is. 2. Ich fleißig. Ich gute Noten. So, I am hardworking. I get good notes. What did you get? Ich bin fleißig. Ich habe gute Noten. Okay, now, what was the clue when you were selecting bin for ich bin fleißig? The ich. The ich, I, lets you know which one for sein to choose. Similarly, the ich for the haben list lets you know that you have to choose habe. Let's try another one. 3. Wir einen Hund. Noch klein. We have a dog. He is still small. What will you choose? Wir haben einen Hund. Ist noch klein. Okay, we'll do another one. Wir Pech. Unser Auto kaputt. So we are embarrassed. Our car is broken. So wir haben Pech. Unser Auto ist kaputt. Okay, so for the last example, I'm going to call out a dialogue, and you need to guess whether you're using haben or sein. Now I want you to get your biro, and I want you to list out the possible answers. So let's begin. Paul schnuffen, erkältet. So Paul has a cold, he is sick. That's the first two. So what answer did you get? Paul has a cold. Paul hat schnuffen. He is cold. Ist erkältet. Okay, so that's the first two. Let's go to the next two. Wir something, ein neues Auto. We have a new car. Es sehr bequem. It is very comfortable. What did you write down? Wir haben ein neues Auto. Es ist sehr bequem. Okay, let's go to the next two. Keep writing down the answers and I will check them with you as we go along. Ich, 2 Papageien zu Hause. Sie, sehr laut. I have 2 parrots at house, or at my home. They are very loud. Now what answers did you get? Ich habe 2 Papageien zu Hause. Sie sind sehr laut. Okay, good work. We'll keep on going. Okay, for the next example. Du sehr viel zu tun. Du immer müde. So you have a lot of work to do. You are always tired. What answers did you get? Du hast sehr viel zu tun. Du bist immer müde. Okay, we'll do two more. Das Wetter schlecht. The weather is bad. Ich einen Regenschirm bei mir. I have an umbrella with me. Das Wetter ist schlecht. Ich habe einen Regenschirm bei mir. It is very, very important that you know these two verbs if you want to speak German successfully and do well in any exam. These verbs are used throughout the language and you cannot get by in German without knowing them. Please rewind the tape and practice the verbs again until you feel comfortable using Haben and Sein.